Okay, in the last video I presented Azami, and I showed her why I don't play her in Prague, but why I will play her on Ostruzna. So now what I want to do is I want to put in at least Supreme Inquisitor, 3 blue, 1/3, tap 5 untapped wizards you control, search target player's library up to 5 cards and exile them. Fuck your combo. I want to put him in there, Time Stream Navigator. Once I have the city's blessing, if she's in play, I can put her on the bottom of my library and take an extra turn. And she's a lower casting cost wizard, so it won't be that hard to find something for her. Gadwick the Wizard, I'm not completely sold on, but maybe I'll find something to take out for him. Mainly for the whenever I cast a blue spell, tap target non-land permanent opponent controls. I'm not going to dump a lot of mana into him to draw cards because that's Azami shtick. That's what she's there for. She draws cards. And Fate Stitcher. So I'll probably take out the Puppeteer for the Fate Stitcher. Or maybe Stony Brook Angler. One of the two. So he costs 4. He costs more than they do. But he can tap or untap anything. So he can untap my Thawing Glacier so I can use it again. And then there's my Thrashed Mana Vault. So I want to put that in there. Might as well go full bore, right? So let's see if there's anything obvious to take out. So no, he stays in. Cryptic Command. It's a combat trick. Bounces things. If somebody has an army I can't deal with, I can basically fog for 1 turn by tapping out the creatures so they cannot attack me. So keep that in for now. This steals creatures, lands I'm not going to take out. Cyclone Summoner, when it comes into play, bounce all permanents except for giants, wizards, and lands to their hands. He costs 7 for a 7/7. He's got no other evasion. Once he does his trick, then I have to bounce him back, which isn't hard. I have to bounce him back to do it again if I need to do it, so he's an option to take out. Mages the Unseen, she's just funny. And I can steal artifacts. Now, if I steal a Soul Ring, it's not going to do me any good because I have to spend 2, 1 and a blue, and tap her in order to do it. But there are other case corner artifacts, other niche artifacts that are worth doing that too. And I just love the art. I love the art, and I like that I've assigned one. Island stays in, Beautiful stays in. Reflections of Litjara. I haven't played with it yet. I haven't had it come up in a game. I don't play Azami very often. But I expect this is going to be a good card. So that will stay in. Island. He's definitely not coming out. No fucking way. The deck is warped around him. He is the core of the deck. Triska Decaphile. So Triska Decaphile is an alternate win condition, and an Ostruzna having an alternate win condition is perfectly acceptable. You guys are going to play combo? I can play dirty too. Makes my stuff cheaper, puts lands into play. If I'm drawing cards, I want to get my lands down, so island. This just copies too many good things. Right of replication. I don't really need it. So it essentially costs 9 because doing it for 4 seems like a waste. And it's a sorcery. Put token onto the battlefield to copy target creature. If it was kicked, if I spend 9, I get 5 tokens. Let's set that aside for now. Void Mage Husher comes into play, counter target and activated ability. There's so many interesting activated abilities that she's well worth it. Tower of the Magistrate, the land. Okay. There's that are the combo Willbreaker and Sea King's Blessing. If I take one out, then there's no reason for the other one. In fact, the only reason for Sea King's Blessing is for her. Now, Gadwick the Wizard would give me another reason of Sea King's Blessing. But it's only when you cast, when you target, so, it's a minor reason. I'm not sure Gadwick's going. Merfolk Trickster, good combat trick. Keep her in. land, 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 land. Tap an untapped creature control, tap target artifact, creature, or land. Yeah, this has saved me a few times, so that's should stay in. Island, island, Academy Ruins. Kazmina. So she stops spells, but she also she can make 2 tokens before she stops. I don't have many ways of bouncing her back because she's not a wizard, but she'll get me a couple more tokens so I can draw cards with Azami, or I can counter a spell with Patron Wizard, and also the filtering, draw a card and discard a card. So, and she doesn't cost that much, so keep her in for now. Well, let's think about her. Monster Waves, nope, he stays in. This is my Patron Wizard cycling card, so that stays. Vantress stays, Nyx Lotus stays, Riptide Director. I don't really need her. Draw a card for each wizard you control. No, one of the cases for her is instead of tapping a bunch of individual wizards, I can just spend the mana and tap her and draw a grip of cards. There's some dust in there. There we go. So let's keep her for now. Information dealer. Look to copy X cards from the library. Reorder them as I choose and then put them back. Bounce a wizard in my hand. Okay, there's the Angler. So let's set him aside and we'll compare him with the other, with Fate Stitcher and Puppeteer. Caged Sun. Now this works pretty good. Need a way of getting rid of graveyard sometimes. Counters target spell. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. Now, Omniscience costs a lot, but it's kind of amazing how quickly I can get up to 10 blue with if I have enough wizards in play and I have either Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, or Nyx Lotus. I can pull this off pretty quickly, surprisingly fast. Okay, wizard and counterspell. No, I need some counterspells that don't just depend on Patron Wizard. So he changes now if it just had changed the target spell, then he wouldn't be so good, but he changes the target of an ability too. So that's a nice trick. That's a good thing to have. Gain control of 1 target creature. Power lessened. So let's think about her. War Tax. Yep, that can save my ass. Thawing Glaciers. Vendilion Clique comes into play. If I think somebody's going to combo off, I mean, this is pretty good. A 3/1 flyer too, so yeah, better keep that. Washout. Conditional board wipe. So as long as nobody's playing that many blue things, I've got 4 options to choose: black, green, red, white. Wash out any of those, and I'm doing fine. And whoever got washed out is like, ooh, I gotta sit back a little bit. Yep, and now I can start counting your shit. Go for it, Jerky. Fencer, I like him. Stealthly Constable, he's just funny. Oh, he's funny. And he can bounce lands. Like I explained in the video where I presented why Azami is for Ostruzna, he can bounce lands. So he can really fuck with people. Island, island. So she only copies an instant or sorcery spell. But, let's say, well, it wouldn't be Cube doing it because it wouldn't be playing it in Prague. So let's keep her in anyway. Deserted Temple. Tideminder stops activated or triggered ability, and then whatever did that, if it's a permanent, can't do it again as long as she's in play. Counterspell. This stops my opponents from casting creatures that aren't blue, so this is pretty damn good. Greaves. Capsize. Yeah, I love Capsize, really works here. Soul Ring. Yep. Sack a wizard, counter target spell. It's good to have some backup. So if Patron Wizard ain't cutting it, if somebody casts a spell and I don't have enough wizards to counter it, then I can, well, one of Kesmina's tokens, sacrifice one of them and counter it. Island, Nykthos, Manavolt. So all the stuff I'm just kind of going over. The reason this is in here is for, I just saw her. I just showed her. I fucking hate it when I forget like this. Where are you at, my little baby? Where is she? Yeah, Mages of the Unseen. So this is kind of in here for Mages of the Unseen, but it also works with Willbreaker. Willbreaker only cares about, doesn't care what's targeting one of the opponent's creatures. All she cares about is that I'm doing it, and then she can steal it. So coding does double duty. I can turn something else into an artifact, and I can steal it. And again, it's haste. So I can punch somebody in the head with it, with their own stuff. Okay, Halimar Depths, yeah, land, Mana Drain, yeah, that takes away flying, gives all my stuff flying. Great with Cephalid Constable. Counterspell, tether it. Counterspell, Raise Dead, Do Over, Steal a Creature. So I don't return target permanent. Yep. So that would bounce the giant back to my hand, but I don't think I really need it. This is a kind of a reset. Maybe I don't need it in this deck. Maybe there's another deck where I wanted Horobi. I wanted one of these in a Horobi. Maybe I should take this out and give it to Horobi because I don't have an extra foil one right now. Turn of Vertige doesn't have any foil ones. At least it didn't a few weeks ago. And I hate spending €3 on postage for one €3 card. You know, €6 for a foil elixir. It's kind of high. Harbinger of the Tides. I can bounce a tap creature. One of the reasons he's here is because he only costs 2. He's a cheap wizard to get down. Maybe I don't need him. Coat of Arms, yep, want that. Oh yes, Puppeteer. So let's look at that with the other guys. Sacrifice the Storm Tamer, counter target spell or ability that targets you. So if somebody wants to exile my graveyard, that's really one of the reasons why it's in here. It overlaps with Elixir of Immortality though, so. But it's a 1 casting cost wizard. That's also important, is I need early wizards to get going with Azami, drawing cards and doing dirty tricks. Sage of Fable, she makes my other wizards bigger when they come into play. Not much bigger, but a little bit bigger, and it all adds up over time. And I can draw cards. And Defiri, Mate of Zafir. He's flashy. Alright, so what do we got? So let's look at the tap and untap suite of cards. So Stony Brook Angler comes down quickly, but he's got a higher. Are they all 1/2? They're all 1/2s. They're all 1/2s. They're all the same power and toughness. He comes down 1 turn faster, but he costs more to use, so it starts locking up my other turns. He comes down 1 turn slower, but it only costs 1 blue. He comes down yet another turn later, but it costs nothing, and it says permanent. So let's take out the Angler. Get the sleeve off. There we go. So we'll take out Stony. I don't need to take a sleeve. Already page switch already has. Jesus Christ. You pay attention to what I'm doing. So we'll put in the Fate Stitcher because he can untap or tap target permanents. He can untap Nykthos. He can untap Thawing Glaciers. Leave the Puppeteer in there. So I've got 2 ways to do that. I've got some duplication. What's next? So let's deal with the Time Stream Navigator. So she costs 2. Do I really care about that? Isn't this just a win? Not that I don't have a lot of win mark cards in here, but to make a token at sorcery speed. Now, if I created 5 tokens, 5 copies of Master of Waves, that would pretty goddamn cool. So he costs 2 or 4 if he's flashing, and I can bounce something, so I can bounce an attacking creature. She costs 5. Gain control of target creature, powerless. Actually, let's take her out. So we'll take out Beguiler of Wills for the Supreme Inquisitor. They cost the same, but he just says tap 5 and tap wizard, so when he comes into play I can tap him immediately along with 4 of the wizards, and I can exile cards from somebody's library. He's also got an extra point of toughness, so take out Beguiler of Wills, we'll put in the Supreme Inquisitor. I'm gonna make this dirty. Dirty. So we still have these. Kazmina. So spells. Only spells. That's still pretty good. Cyclone Summoner. So he costs 7. But a eternal permanence. So all artifacts, all planeswalkers, all of that goes back. But he costs 7. Harbinger of the Tides, he can bounce something. Oh, now this is getting tough. It's getting real tough. Because there's also still Mana Crypt. Mana Crypt could be easy though. I could just take it out for Mana Vault. Is there anything else in here? I don't want to be dropping wizards, dropping creatures without replacing them with another creature. I don't want to be reducing the number of creatures I have. Is there anything else that I can or should take? Do I care about this, for example? Gain 2 life, shuffle it. Let's see, I probably don't really care about that because I do have Time Spiral. So if I take out Elixir of Immortality, I can make the deck faster with the Mana Crypt. My Thrashed Mana Crypt. So this is definitely an Ostruzna deck now. Oh my god, is it dirty? But what about the Navigator? What do I take out for the Navigator? And are these my best options? Did I miss something? Let's just run it through again right quick. Let's see, Spiral, Tezzeret. See if there's anything else that just jumps out at me as something I don't need. Not really warranted. Isn't... in a way, washout, because they play a lot of blue down there. But they also play other colors. And it only costs 4 to do that. Definitely want to keep the War Tax. Omniscience. Omniscience works. It actually works surprisingly well in this deck. Cage Sun. Master Waves. Master Waves is the main argument for leaving a right of replication in there. I mean, if I get 5 copies of him, that's a lot of elementals. Depending on my devotion to blue. Do I want this? Do I really want opposition? Tap an untapped creature control. Tap target artifact, creature, or land. During your upkeep, I have these 4 wizards that are set aside doing nothing. I'm going to tap 4 of your lands. Yeah, that can be dirty, so I better keep it. Seeking Blessing, Willbreaker. See, the liquid metal coating, she doesn't care. As long as I'm targeting it with something, she'll steal it. She'll give me the creature. Counter an activated ability. My alternate win condition. And draws cards. But do I care about having an alternate win condition? Yeah, and Ostruzna, yes. So it's down to one of these 4 for the Time Stream Navigator. And I don't really want to take out a creature. Kasmina or Right of Replication. I mean, it would be fun. It would be a big splashy play, but it's at sorcery speed. And what would I target? Seriously, what would I target? So if I target Harbinger of the Tides, I can bounce a bunch of let's look at the best case scenario. I bounce a bunch of cards back to my opponent's hands. Copy of target creature. What else? Urtai, legendary, can't copy him. Okay, so I can do this multiple times. It really doesn't matter. Same with her. I wouldn't have the mana really to do that multiple. Him, oh, that'd be fucking amazing. Him. But maybe it's only him. Tap target creature and opponent controls, loses all ability in turn. Okay, on my turn, that's really not going to matter. Willbreaker. Okay, so if I have multiple copies of her, that's not going to get me anywhere. Void Bane Tusher, only when she comes into play. And only to counteract ability, doesn't matter. Metamorph if he's not coming a creature and won't see him. That guy doesn't matter. That guy doesn't matter. Except I would have more wizards. So if I copied Patron Wizard, if I had 5 copies of him, I have more wizards to counter things. Yay. For 9 mana. Realm Right, doesn't matter. Okay, Sword of Temptation, that would be interesting because I could gain control of 5 creatures. So there's 2, 3 good possibilities. Not really worried about her because I can bounce her back to my hand. And if I've got the Sage of Fables, when she comes into play with Persist, the +1/+1 counter from Sage of Fables eliminates the -1/-1 from Persist. Daring Apprentice, okay, so I would have 5 counter spells. Now, flying, okay. A tap target creature, that's mana intensive. Okay, so I can sacrifice wizards. I only really need 1 of him in play. Tap and tag another target permanent. Yeah, that could be useful. Okay, so there are a number of very interesting targets for a kicked Right of Replication. If nothing else, I mean, I can just copy Venser. 4 of them would go away because of legendary rule, but 4 things to get bounced. 4 of her. 5 of, wow, if I had 6 of her, each wizard come 6, well, okay. Alright, that stays. Okay, so it's down to one of these 3. So Harbinger of the Tides. Cast him as if he had flash. If I paid 2 more. So that's 4 to flash him into play. And I can return a tap creature. It's harder than I thought. She makes wizards, and she can make 2. He is a wizard. He bounces, and it's a good way to eliminate. I'll take out Harbinger of the Tides. I'll take out Harbinger for now. I'll put in Time Stream Navigator. Let me know in the comments below if you think I'm making a mistake. Let me know in the comments below if you think I should keep Harbinger, take something else out for Time Stream Navigator, or if you don't think I should have her in there at all. Remember, this is an Ostruzna deck. I need to make it oppressive and nasty and fun. And that's it. That's changes to Azami.